Transformers The Last Night TV spots are in full swing, and I'm going to break several of them down for you guys, let you know what I found, what I thought, probably some theories in there, and there's always that potential for spoilers. This is all conjecture on my part, and really I'm only going to take the new stuff or the extended scenes that we haven't seen. A lot of these TV spots are made up of shots or scenes or clips that we have already seen, so I'm going to just skip over that stuff, and I'm going to be breaking down several TV spots, so I'm going to let you guys know which TV spot it's from before I start talking about it, and I'm also going to provide the links down below in the description. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check out my Transformers review. I just did it a couple days ago. I'm going to be continuing the series with Revenge of the Fallen next, probably shoot that tomorrow, continuing on until the release of The Last Night. So let's get started on these breakdowns. So in the Dragonstorm TV spot, we get this new shot of Optimus Prime being electrocuted by Quintessa while he's being chained up. She's like raising her hand, and we saw this in a previous trailer, but we didn't see him being electrocuted. So I just find that interesting that he's kind of being tortured. Maybe he's resisting the mind control and this is like his punishment until he finally just gives in. Or maybe this is him being revived by Quintessa. Could be either or. We'll just have to wait and see. And this shot is just an extension of the, Optimus Prime saying, "Forgive me," and trying to stab Bumblebee's face. It's just the latter part of that scene, and we have seen a still of that, but we haven't seen it actually in action until now. And this shot is actually really cool. It's kind of like the typical spy movie where, the knife is getting really close to the other agent's eye. And that's how I see it going. And here, of course, we get Dragonstorm, the name of the TV spot. And what I find interesting about this is he is chasing or flying alongside one of those Cybertronian drone ships that is either piloted by Bumblebee or Hot Rod or a Decepticon, or it could be any other Autobot for that matter. But I don't know if he's shooting at that or shooting beyond it and flying with it. It's hard to tell from just this shot. I mean, this is probably going to be a full pan across, so we're only seeing the first part of it. And I'm excited to see the rest of it, obviously. Excited to see this whole movie. And this is from the TV spot titled Now or Never. Now, these titles might be different in the links that you have, but the links that I have are in the description down below, so that's where I got the titles from. And the first shot I want to talk about is the shot of the Great Pyramids of Giza being destroyed. Now, we've seen the pyramids in Revenge of the Fallen, and in particular the one that is being destroyed in this shot, that's the one that held, or that was covering, the Sun Harvester that Devastator was uncovering. And did they just rebuild it, or is this just a goof, like just a mistake in the movie continuity? Pretty sure it's the latter because, these movies don't have much continuity in them, unfortunately. But it is nice to see that they are kind of going back to that and showing, like, hey, remember that movie? Well, we're destroying that part of that movie. The next shot is Mark Wahlberg saying, "You push them and they push right back." But if you look at the background, Josh Duhamel's character, Lennox, is there, and at first he's looking at Mark Wahlberg or whatever he's looking at, and then he looks up and to the left top of the frame. So basically, whatever he's looking at, there's a transformer there most likely, or a helicopter or something. I'm assuming it's a transformer, either Bumblebee or someone else, but I just find it interesting. We get a tiny bit more of that Dragonstorm shot, but just a tiny bit. Then we get this shot of Mark Wahlberg's character, Cade Yeager, standing in front of smoke, and his hair is all wet. I'm assuming this is after the big Bumblebee Optimus fight scene, or right before, most likely after, or even at the end of the movie, because it looks like there's destruction behind him, and it's over pretty much. But his character says it's now or never, which is the title of the TV spot. And that's not from this shot. His lips don't move when he says that, so it's from a different part of the movie. Could be a couple seconds earlier, later, or an hour earlier. Then we get this barrage of the fight scene between Optimus and Bumblebee, and my goodness, that scene is going to be awesome. And I just hope that they bring in some more emotion into the scene, because these are two characters that we have grown to care about, even though they don't have that much characteristics, but we still like them. What I find interesting is in some of the shots, Bumblebee does not have his doors on his back. So that could either be because the CGI is not finished, or it's after the scene where Optimus does that Bane backbreaker move and busts off his doors. That's my thinking, is it's after that, so Bumblebee somehow gets the upper hand after that just brutal hit. That's going to be interesting to see how that happens, how it plays out. But yeah, what I like about it is he kind of looks very similar to how he looks in that poster that was released of him in World War II, about to basically infiltrate, or after infiltrating, that Nazi stronghold. And again, that just confirms that that Autobot was Bumblebee, and that's really cool. And that spin to just slam Bumblebee down, wow. I thought it was cool when he just slams him down, but now we see him spinning him and then slamming him down. The next TV spot is titled It Begins, and the first shot I want to talk about is the shot where Cade and Vivian are in the submerged things looking at this ship that's underwater. You see this new character in there, and I don't remember him being in there before, but what I find interesting is his face looks like Cogman, but his size is much smaller than Cogman. Like, Cogman's short, but I don't remember him being that short in the scenes that we've seen him in. So this could either be a different character, or it's Cogman just shrunk down version of him. We get this shot of Cade and Lennox running on that ship that comes out of the water, but it's either just rocking back and forth, or it's about to sink again, and they're just about to be hit with a bunch of water. And I'm no scientist or anything, and I've never experienced it myself, but that much water coming at you, you're going to be knocked off your feet. The next TV spot is titled Steel Bane, and that is a character's name, which I'll get to in a minute. But it starts out with the kids, unfortunately. But we find out that when this kid says, y'all want to see some dead robots, he's not talking to his friends, he's talking to other people off camera. And because he's already with his friends when he says it. He could either be talking to Cade Yeager or Isabella, or just other kids coming off their school bus or something. Who knows? And this is Steel Bane. He looks a lot like Shredder, in my opinion, or how Shredder should have looked in the last two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. I have to say, I do not think that Steel Bane was in the ship that the kids are looking into, because that would not make sense, as he is supposed to be a knight, and he's basically supposed to be in the era of King Arthur, that time period, not in the Battle of Chicago. And we finally get to hear John Goodman's first line in this movie, at least, as Hound. He says, "Good morning, fellows." That's it. But, I hope that they give him more lines, because it's John Goodman. I love John Goodman. Then we hear Cade Yeager say, "One moment, that's all we got." And he looks upset. So that kind of tells me that that scene with him being all wet and he's looking off, it may not be at the end. This may be after like a climax of the movie, but it's before maybe the Optimus versus Megatron fight scene. And again, we get that shot of Megatron fighting Hound. He slices his back and he looks like he's about to stab him. But again, Hot Rod is just kind of running behind Megatron. It doesn't look like he's running at Megatron. So I'm curious as to how this scene is going to play out. I have no idea. I'm very interested and I'm excited. The next TV spot is called Two Worlds, One Survivor. I would have thought it'd be One Survives, but hey, I don't make the titles for those videos. The first shot I want to talk about is the shot of Megatron seemingly to transform. It's awesome. It kind of confirms that he's a jet because he's off the ground, kind of landing, which is nice because we haven't seen him as a jet really since Revenge of the Fallen. He was kind of a tank jet combo. He was definitely just a jet in Transformers, but he was just a really gross looking truck. I thought it was kind of cool looking, but a really rough looking truck in Dark of the Moon, which served no purpose. He wasn't in disguise at all. And then he was that Freightliner truck in, well, he was Galvatron in Age of Extinction, which I didn't like that either. Especially his transformation, it was just pixels. Anyway, I'm excited for this shot, this scene. I have a lot of theories about that, and I'll get to it. So we get to see more of that Dragonstorm shot, but earlier of it. And it's really cool because there's 2 of the Cybertronian jets being chased by him, not just one. But again, he might be flying with them. The way I see it, he's flying to attack them. And it just shows how big he really is. Now this shot is very interesting to me because Isabella Moner's character, Isabella, is looking up. She's freaked out. You can see the fear in her face. But she's basically being held by, I think, a Decepticon. And I have a theory that it's either Megatron or Barricade because she talks to Megatron like, "You think I'm afraid of you?" And this could be part of that scene. Who knows? But I'm definitely excited. I can't wait to see what is happening in this scene. Now, at first, I thought this was Hot Rod. Then I thought, no, there's too much red going on. It might be Drift. But then I took a closer look. It's neither. This is what looks like a McLaren. I don't know what character that is, if it even is a character. I mean, it's a sweet car, so it's most likely a character, a Transformers character. So, yeah, it's yet to be shown or confirmed to me what character this is. If you guys know who this is, let me know because I'm curious. I want to know who this is. Now here we see Barricade kind of whipping around this car that's already crashing. And I really hope that they take this chase scene and make it a really big action scene. Because that's what we've wanted. We got a taste of it in Transformers, but not enough. And the last big, like, driving cool scene that we've seen was in Dark of the Moon, and that was that highway fight scene with Bumblebee, Dino, Sideswipe, and those 3, I don't remember what they were called, but they were just the Decepticons. And then Ironhide joins in. That was an awesome scene. That was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And I just hope that this one kind of takes it to the next level and gives it more closed-in quarters, and they're just whipping around buildings. I think it's going to be awesome. And again, at the end of this TV spot, we get a better looking shot of the pyramid being destroyed. And again, it goes back to that thing that I said earlier, is the pyramid that covered the Sun Harvester in Revenge of the Fallen. So either they repaired it exactly how it was, or it's just a mistake in the movie, because, I mean, in Revenge of the Fallen, the pyramid that Simmons is climbing up is not the pyramid that they keep showing him in the wide shots climbing up. Because you see the pyramid that he's supposed to be climbing up in the background of his shots. And then you go to the wide shots of him climbing up a pyramid, and you see Devastator destroying that pyramid. It's the one with like the smooth top. I don't know the names of the pyramids, but yeah, that was a mistake in Revenge of the Fallen, and I have a feeling they're going to continue that mistake in this movie. Now the next video I want to talk about is not a TV spot. It's like a special thank you to the military. It's a pretty interesting video, and this shot right here is very interesting to me because it shows Megatron and Lennox, what looks like they were having a conversation. It confirms, obviously, I mean, we've pretty much had it confirmed for the past several weeks or months, that that first shot of Megatron like slamming down his sword was to intimidate Lennox, and Lennox doesn't flinch. I love that shot. Anyway, this shot here, Lennox looks either frustrated, betrayed, confused, or something. It's hard to tell from just a glimpse of his facial features of what emotion he's conveying in this shot. And you know, it just goes to show you that they are having a conversation. Megatron might even look like he's smiling. It's hard to see because he's out of focus in the background, and his face is all metallic. It's really hard to tell. But I'm really interested to see what transpires in this scene, because when I saw that shot in the first teaser trailer, I got super excited, and I knew that something interesting was going to be happening with those two characters, and this just goes to show you that it is going to happen. Either a deal is going to be made, or they're just threatening each other. Who knows? This could be Megatron. He could be that jet, like a real jet, which I think would be awesome because Transformers, robots in disguise. He should be disguised, and I think it'd be great for him to be actually disguised in this one because he's only had a disguise, really, in 2 of the Transformers movies. And in both of those ones that he had a disguise, he never even used those as disguises. His transformation, his vehicle modes, they were never used as disguises, especially in Dark of the Moon. He's just this beat up truck. Looks like he's straight out of like a post-apocalyptic movie or something. And he's driving in downtown Chicago. That's not disguised at all. So unfortunately, that is all I've found that was new. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments section below. Or if there are new TV spots coming out, let me know. I will break them down. I'm not going to do every individual one because these videos will be very short if I do that. I'm going to compile them all together. But yeah, these TV spots sure show a lot of new stuff or extended stuff. And I'm definitely excited for this movie, guys. As I said earlier in the video, I'm going to be continuing my reviews for the Transformers movies leading up to the release of Transformers The Last Night. My next video is Revenge of the Fallen. That should be up in either tomorrow or the day after. Just be on the lookout for that, and then Dark of the Moon shortly after, and then Age of Extinction, and then my top 10 things of what I'm looking forward to, or what I think should happen, or what I want to happen in Transformers The Last Night. So that'll be coming out a couple days or a week before the release of The Last Night. So be on the lookout for those videos, guys. I'm excited to be doing them. And like they did with Age of Extinction and all the other Transformers movies, really, they're going to keep dropping new TV spots. They're mostly going to be comprised of shots that we've already seen, but eventually or occasionally, we will get a few new shots, which is always exciting, or just extended shots, or in upgraded shots, enhanced shots. But yeah, be on the lookout for those, guys. Send me the links if a few drop today and I don't notice them. So yeah, if you like this video, guys, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of when we upload new content. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.